Hey guys, I'm excited to finally be able to give you my thoughts for Disney's new film Crater, which is streaming now on Disney+. Now, the beginning part of this review is going to be spoiler free, but I have to dive into spoilers in the end to really get my thoughts out on the things I did not like about this movie. So that'll be later with warning, but don't worry, the beginning is absolutely spoiler free. Now, I will say at first I was like, oh, this movie gives off serious The Goonies vibes, right? We have a group of kids, of friends that are like going on this adventure together, and awesome, this is going to be a lot of fun. Plus, it's in space, so like now it's a sci-fi adventure, and I'm totally here for it. This group of kids is really good. I mean, McKenna Grace is just a great actress in general. They're good. They're good. They do what they can with the script and the storytelling, and they're not bad. They feel like they have chemistry, and they're entertaining enough, okay? Now, this story is basically all around Caleb. His dad dies in the mines on the moon, and they decide, they find out he's going to go to Omega, and they're like, hey, we're going to have one last adventure together to do what your dad wanted you to do, his dying wish, go see this crater that's out there, right? And of course, there's like obstacles along the way for them to get out there. They get out there and they go on their adventure to seek the crater. It feels somewhat predictable, and yes, it is. But listen, I'm going to start off with something. This is not a spoiler because it's very, very early on. They start talking about these people have come from Earth, okay? They've come from Earth and they've gone to the moon, right? They're working like 20 years. They literally sign like 20-year contracts, which can also get extended, and kids can get sucked into it, right? So there's this whole thing with that, so that they can leave Earth. So they go from Earth to the moon to work, to be able to afford and earn the rights to go to Omega, where, you know, the rich people from Earth are just going straight to Omega, okay? Here's the thing. Why? Because McKenna Grace is a character, Addison, I believe is her name, from Earth, and she talks about there being like blue skies and trees and it's beautiful and she loves it there and nature and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, so why are people giving up 20 years of their lives and possibly sentencing their children's lives to this for Omega? Which is like years in the future. Like you literally have to like cryo sleep or whatever it's called to get out there because it takes that long to get there. It's like 70 years, I think they said, or something like that. So why? That's what I don't understand. So this just, honestly, the whole movie is completely flawed because of that. If Earth is beautiful, if you can't afford to go to Omega, this like luxury place, why are you not just living on Earth? It's not like it's dying. So why are you going to the moon? I don't know. That whole thing didn't make sense to me. Maybe I missed something. I don't know. I went back and I looked, and I've watched the whole thing almost fully through twice, and it didn't make any sense to me. So that is something that really bothered me. There's a lot of choices along the way that I didn't love. The effects, it doesn't look great. But you know, it's a TV movie, so like, okay, we can push that aside, right? It's fine. These kids make so many dumb decisions. Like, yeah, they're having fun out on their adventure, but like several of these decisions, and I will get into it in the spoiler section, are so stupid where you're like, oh, it feels like a horror movie, you know, where you're like, why are you doing this? This is dumb and this makes no sense. And then we have the end of the movie, which, yes, it gets a little bit emotional. It does. I'm not going to lie. It gets a little bit emotional. But it's also horrible, which I will dive into in the spoilers. Like, it's absolutely like, I was watching this like, are you kidding me? First of all, they lead you to believe something almost the whole dang way through. And then you're stuck with this ending that is just awful. Emotional, a little bit heartbreaking, I guess, but like awful. At the same time, one of the friends has like an enlarged heart, and they make that part of the story, but then it never really comes to fruition. So it's like just throwing in this other plot point that means nothing. And like there's one part where it comes to be, but really it just makes this what's supposed to be like an epic like action sequence like too convoluted and frustrating. Frustrating is a good way to describe this movie because it has potential. It had potential there, and it just falls flat, unfortunately. So let's dive into the spoilers. I will say I give this movie a 1.5 out of 5, but let me dive into the spoilers right now as to what is so insanely wrong with this movie. Fair warning, because it's streaming now. I'm going to dive into the spoilers. You guys, first of all, let's talk about the fact that the father commits suicide to help his child. No parent No parent is going to be like, oh, you've already lost your mother. I'm going to commit suicide so that you can go to this like ideal luxury planet. I'm going to leave you alone as an orphan. You don't even want to go. I'm ripping you away from your friends, but I'm going to kill myself and make it look like an accident in the mine so that they'll send you up there. What? No, that makes no sense. No parent. And if they are going to do that, they are a horrible parent. Yeah, whatever. It leads a better life for their kid. You're the one who left a perfectly fine Earth to come to the moon, to mine. No. That didn't sit with me at all. I thought that was awful. Leaving the kid behind, hurting the kid like that, committing suicide just because you think, oh, now they can go to Omega. No, ridiculous, okay? Also, like, when they get to that model home and there's all that stuff there, it's like fine and fun, but like, why are you destroying the whole thing? I don't know. That seemed stupid because you have all these supplies and you're just destroying the whole place. Why didn't you just live there? Right? You didn't want to go to Omega. Just hang out here with your friends. It's whatever. That was stupid. That was a frustrating thing. They're also using up all their oxygen to play. Are these kids dumb? That's the dumbest decision. And then, of course, they're going to have the problem where they're running out of oxygen. Surprise! Like, come on. But the thing that really made me so very mad at the end of this movie is that this kid is dying, essentially, right? They're all running out of oxygen and they're dying. And the people who find this kid, take this kid, stick him in cryo sleep, send him off to Omega without letting him say goodbye to his friends. Not sending his friends with him either. Just sending him up there. What was that? Like, you're essentially kidnapping this kid away from everybody and just like sending him up there. I thought when he woke up, I was like, okay, his friends are going to be with him. No, they weren't. Then he only gets to have this connection with this like kid he doesn't even know, this girl's brother. Like, that was weird. I don't know. It was like a little emotional because you're like, oh, he didn't get to go with his friends. And you hear the tape playing of his friends. Here's the frustrating part. They like revolt against it and they end up with like really great jobs and wages and they don't have contracts like that on the moon. So now he really was ripped away from his friends who ended up with a great life. He's stuck up here with a foster family because his dad killed himself after his mom died. Like, come on. I don't know. The whole story is just, it's ridiculous. It's frustrating. That's the best way to describe it. I'm done ranting, but those were my thoughts on Crater. You guys let me know what you thought down below in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and check me out at MamasGeeky.com. I hope you enjoyed it more than I did, guys, because, oof, that one made me mad.